Okay, so how are you going to do that? Maybe make little lines instead of circles for more space. So how are we doing it? Hello and welcome back to another homeschooling episode from For Tutor. Again, my name is Ellen and I'm currently the homeschool mom of 2 kids. My son Aiden is in 2nd grade and my daughter Riley is in kindergarten. And I just want to give you guys a glimpse into what I do to homeschool here in an RV. Now, we don't have enough space for normal bookshelves and their own little workstations and different things like that, so you've got to use what you can. To start with, school books are usually on the heavier side of all the things we have in the RV. Their books are probably the heaviest when you add them all together. You have to have your language arts, your reading and writing, your spelling, your math, your science, your maps, your everything they could need, notebooks, pencils, everything like that. And we learned the hard way that, well, the best place to keep books is under the cubby here. So under this dining room seat, we have our space, and the kids can just open it up, and here are their school items. What I have found works best for the kids is to have folders, and they're designated with the day of the week, Monday through Friday, and their initials so they know which folder belongs to whom. And so here we have Tuesday and R. So Riley knows that on Tuesdays she goes in and finds her Tuesday folder. She can usually figure out the spelling of them by now, this far into the year, and she's pretty much learned the color if she's not sure. She knows which color is which day. I don't even know that far, but at least I can read the words. And what I do on usually either a Friday, or if Fridays just get busy and don't always get to it, on Monday, I will take their folders and I will spread them out here on the floor, because in an RV as well, this is our largest flat space for me to work on. I could do it on the table, but it's all just right here, and instead of going up and down and up and down, I just have a seat right here, spread their folders out, and I refill them. This folder here, we've designated as our finished folders. So we have one here, and this one's Aiden. This one had a space on it so we could write his name. So Aiden's has his name, and Riley's is the one without the name, so they know the difference as well. And so when they finish their pages every day, they can open it up and they can put them in. Now here in the state of Florida, the homeschool requirements are that I keep documentation of what they've been working on, so that at the end of the year I could submit those to show the progressions that they've gone through and show that they have actually done the work needed for their grade so that they can promote to the next level. So what I usually do when I'm organizing their folders is I will take one child at a time. So for right now, we're going to start with Riley's. And so I'm going to take Riley's 5-day folders, Monday through Friday, and lay them out in order. This is Aiden's, so we'll do that in just a moment. Let's see here. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Now today they already did their school. They had a little bit left over from last week. We had cousins come into town and stay the night with us, and so we didn't quite finish our week, which is fine, because I always make sure that they have just enough extra in there so that if they don't get it all done, they've still done plenty and enough. So they've already done their Monday folder. The one thing I keep in their Monday folder is this printout, and I'll put a link below on the website. I forget the exact link to the website. It's the K-12 spelling. I'll put a link in the description below of the website I went and I found a complete spelling list for each grade. So Riley, even though she's in kindergarten, they don't have a kindergarten spelling list. So she's already going ahead and working through the 1st grade spelling list, and she's doing awesome for her grade. Today she just finished week 8's spelling list, and 9 and 10, I knew that she knew most of these, and I tested her on them, and of the 16 words between the 2 weeks, she only needs to work on 5 of those words. The other, my goodness, I just lost my word. 13 of those, 13, 6, I'm having trouble with math, 11. She was able to answer all of those herself already. So this is a week-by-week list, and so every week I get one of her manuscript pages out, which I will add to the link below, but I have, in my previous homeschooling video, I put a link to the description where you can go and get books like these. But so we have our manuscript writing book, which has the lines on them. And so I'll take one of those out and I will write her words. Actually, let's see if I can find her. We already did it for today, so we moved it to Tuesday. I will write her words at the top for her. And I know I don't have the best handwriting, but she knows what I'm writing. I write her words, and then every day she comes in and she rewrites her words on her manuscript pages there that have the dotted lines down the center so that she can learn on her height and where to keep her capital letters and her lowercase letters. And so she's doing two things. She's working her spelling, and she's also working on her writing, her letters, her proper spacing, and where the big letters go, what goes below into the basement, so to speak. And so that's what I always keep in their Monday folder. They always have their spelling list. And then I have their different books that they work through. So let's get Riley's out. And Riley's just about finished these that I have out for her. Let's see, I think we have enough of these. But I do have some new books I'm going to get into. I haven't sorted through them yet. We have some new math books and some things like that because she's already finished one of these, and this one is already half finished. She loves going through these. A lot of them are pretty basic for where she is right now, which is great. It makes her feel very accomplished when she can go through a lot of the easier pages and get some of those done. And again, it's just reinforcing what she already knows. So we always want to have some easier pages that reinforce what they already know and they feel very accomplished and they can get them done. And then you want to have some things that are more challenging to expand their minds and help them actually learn. So I try to have a good balance of stuff that I know that they can do pretty simply and then stuff that I know is going to challenge them. So for Riley, this is her book that she can do pretty simply by herself. And so what I'll do is I'll go into it. And so this one is completing the sentence. So things like that. And I'll find a page that, so this is reading, writing. She's working on letter Q, capital and lowercase. She has to, her 5 words that she has to read, and she has to pick which word goes in which sentence. So she's reading, she's completing it, she has to comprehend what's going on to know which word goes there. And so I'll just pick a couple pages out of that book. I'll do something from that. I'll find maybe something that deals with shapes or colors or math, if there's something with numbers and counting. Let's see here. Oh, this one, which has more or less, and the color. Now, she already knows her color red, so this is something that the page she can get done in about 6 seconds and feel really good about herself. And on the other side, it has the dogs with their bones, the cats with their bowls, the rabbits with their carrots, things like who has more, who has less. Working on greater than, less than, more, less, description words like that for her. So I'll go through that, and I'll go through and put about 2 from the easier book in for every day of the week. Now, some weeks I might make a few days challenging, and I do this usually maybe every other week, a couple times a month, where I'll not put anything in the Friday folder. And so their challenge is if they can get Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday folders finished, then we won't have anything on Friday. We'll kind of take a day off. Because I know that I've put enough in those 4 days that they've done enough for the week. But they also have something where if they don't finish anything, let's say we just get too distracted, we get a late start, something comes up and we have to run out early, and we just don't finish everything in the folder, we'll just move it to the next day folder, kind of roll it over. And so then the challenge is if they get the next day, if they can do what was there plus what got rolled over. And if anything gets rolled into Friday, it's usually not very much, and we can just knock that out pretty quick, and it's still, we kind of take it easier on Fridays. Or it gives us the opportunity to do different types of learning activities. Like that's where we might throw more map activities in, or we might throw little science experiment type things in, outside the RV learning science, or any type of learning that they can do out off the table, away from the papers.
So I've got this science experiment. It was in my book. It's about stalagmites, something like that. And here's the science experiment.
You guys kind of squish it like Play-Doh. Start mushing it around. Squeeze and stretch.
Mine is kind of good already.
Zoom tight. Did you catch it in your elbow?
Not in the clay.
Mine's starting to crack on the side. I gotta squish it down together. Okay, so take a sugar cube, Riley.
1?
Yep. Just take 1 sugar cube, put it in the center, and wrap it up. Let's see. Yep, I'm gonna do mine, so we can all try it and see what's gonna happen. Okay, so I'm just kind of wrap it like a present. Just kind of wrap it all up so it's all covered up. Raise clay's in the bowl.
Mine. This is mine right here.
Aiden's. Mine. Mom is Aiden.
Look right here. It says, what do you think will happen if you drip 100 drops of water on your rock? You have to write your prediction before you start your
How
experiment.
do you spell dissolve?
It was on the other page, wasn't it? Oh, it's at the top of this one here. Hmm, 5 or 6, 7, 8, 9,
That's really
10, 11, 12. Ah, I'm not even, guys, don't shake the table. I'm not even hitting the rock. Does it look like it's growing and expanding? Open it up and see what's inside your cave. Let's peel it open. Do you see, like, oh, look at the crystals forming. You see how it's kind of like little stalagmites? Like your sugar cube is kind of stringy. Can you see that?
Yeah.
Do you guys notice that? Look, it's clung to the clay and it's hanging down. Look at that,
Why is
like
it
a stalagmite.
hanging down?
Yeah, it is. It's kind of stringy. Look at all your crystals that are stuck to the clay now. So that's kind of what we add to like Friday. Friday's if they do their work, Friday is a folderless day. We can go do other stuff. We can incorporate learning many, many ways. Right? So that's what I do. I kind of go through that. She has her reading. Let's see where she is right now. Kind of the same concept as the other page I had on, so I might not repeat that. I might look through and find different things. Finding the missing vowel and seeing whether the vowel has to have the silent E to make the correct vowel sound for that word. Between the O for bone and the O for top and things like that. So that's kind of where she is, learning about silent E's and things like that. This book is her more challenging book, and it will have a little more writing and a little more, this is more into the first grade level. So that's the book that is challenging for her. Sometimes she only gets a partial portion of that page done, and so I know that with some pages I might only put one in Monday, and then I might put one in Wednesday or Thursday, but usually it's kind of a page that she'll almost work on through the week, do a little bit each day. And so that's what I do for Riley. So I'll get through those and I'll just kind of do a couple pages. So she has a couple of easier, simpler, less challenging for her, and then a couple more challenging that I sit down and work through with her for that. Now for Aiden, I don't do the manuscript pages where I tear the individual pages out and write his words at the top of the page for him to do, for his spelling words. So that's for Riley. For Aiden, let's get his folders out. I have his Monday through Friday. And same thing for Aiden. In his Monday folder, I have his spelling list. And this is the second grade spelling list. And it has, each list is 16 words. And it goes through, they have 36 weeks on here. And again, some of these words he already knows. Every once in a while, I'll take a quick glance at the list. And if it looks like words that I know that he's already been reading, writing, using in his everyday reading and writing, I might do a quick extra test of him, like I did for Riley, and just run through two lists, mark off the ones that he did correctly, and the other ones kind of combine the two lists, and that way he can not take 36 weeks through spelling words. It makes him feel good. Or he likes a challenge and move on to that third grade list. That's what he's really looking forward to. So same thing for Aiden. In his Monday folder, I have his spelling words. However, with that goes his composition book. So I always have a composition book around, and he knows to go and open it and find the next blank page. Let's see here. Occasionally, if I can tell that the notebook's, if he's added some extra pages, I don't want him to get lost, I'll go ahead and write the week number. And then he knows to go find it, find the page that says, like, this was week 7, and then he will go through and write his words. And then through the week, he'll add on, and he'll add the word and rewrite the list every day. And then on Fridays we test. Or if he doesn't want to do Friday and he feels confident, then on Thursdays we'll go ahead and test on Thursdays, and he'll go through his list and we'll see how he's doing. And with that, last week again we missed a couple days, so he'll probably test on these tomorrow. Now that would be a Tuesday, but that's okay. He's still learning. We're still going. He's still on track. He skipped a whole list a couple weeks ago because he knew them all, so we're technically a week ahead already. So he's good. So that's what I do for Aiden. Those are his spelling words. So he knows he's got to grab his folder first thing in the day. They do their spelling words. He's going to grab his folder, write his list, and then he'll open his folder and see what other pages are in there. Now for Aiden, one of his favorite things to do are these word ladders. I'll see if I can find these on Amazon. This is an older book. I can tell I found it at a used bookstore. It wasn't, all the first couple were done, but it's completely empty after that. If you've ever done like those Simon Says puzzles and like in the puzzle books for us big people, where you start with one word and then it gives you a clue to change it and kind of follow directions to change words a little bit, you know, switch the vowel, add a letter, things like that, and to find out what your ending word is to kind of solve the puzzle or the riddle. So he loves doing those. So I'll usually put those because there's one on the front and then there's one on the back. So I'll usually put one in Monday and I'll put one in Wednesday. So he'll do the one on Monday, he'll flip it over, put it in the Tuesday folder. So on Tuesday, he'll do the other side. He really loves these. He likes figuring it out and kind of unscrambling it to figure out what the answer is. So this is one thing that we use for Aiden. He really loves those. The other is handwriting, practicing his cursive. I know it's a lost art these days for kids, but it's very important to me that they learn it, and he loved it. A couple years ago, we found, let's see if it's in here. It is. We found this dry erase. I think this was from Target. Yes, it was in the Target dollar section when at the beginning of the school years, when they have a lot of activities for kids. But dry erase cursive board. Best thing ever. Brilliant. And so we found this and he wanted it, and he has used this thing a lot, and he loved it. So when I found when we were living in Tennessee, there's a used bookstore called McKay's, and it's fabulous. They have tons of books, especially when it comes to school curriculum. There's a lot of different things for parents to use. And so it has different activities for the day. It has a little section for Monday to kind of do, a little section for Tuesdays, different things like that. So he already went through practicing all the letters. He went through the alphabet. Now these days have him writing the months of the year. So this is what he loves to do. So I'll follow those appropriately as they name their days of the week, and he'll work through that and loves doing his cursive. Okay, so another thing we have for Aiden is his math book. I think this one also was in the description from our previous homeschooling video. I'll repeat it down in the description below for this one. And any of the other books that I find that I didn't add to the first one, but maybe I'm able to find now and locate and add for this video. This is Abeka. I love Abeka. I think I've talked about them before. That's where Riley's manuscript book is, and a few other books that they use. I definitely have more for third grade for him and first grade for Riley. But when they finish these, then we'll move up and I'll go get those. I have those in storage. But I think when he gets to third and she gets to first, pretty much most all of their curriculum I have already set up for them is through Abeka. That's the stuff I grew up on. That's the stuff I used when I was homeschooled. And I just love the progression that they use on it. Now this for Aiden for his math, though, would be his simpler work. We call this his easy math page. That's what he's titled it. And you'll understand when you see the comparison. This is still very good for him. It's reinforcing what he already knows. And it still is teaching him new things. He's still learning clocks, which he's pretty good with clocks right now. He's teaching him about reading thermometers, which is a lost art, reading mercury thermometers. He's teaching about money, adding different money counts together, and different things like that. So he considers this his easy math page, and it's kind of a lot less questions than his other one. So divide these in half, mark under the group that has more or less, different things like that, dividing into certain portions. He's working on subtracting some double digits here, and different things like that. So what I would do is I would take out one of these, and I'll put it in his Monday folder, and I do every other day. So for this easy math, I'll do one in his Monday, and then I'll take another and I'll put it in his Wednesday folder. And so then we have up, down of easy, hard, and different things. And so that's what I would do for his easy math, as he calls it. This is the Scholastics. I think these were Costco. I think we got these at Costco. Costco always has amazing, great workbooks for kids, too. I believe that's where I got Riley's. No, this is from Aldi's, actually, believe it or not. I believe this was when we were living in Tennessee, the Aldi's up there. I've saw it once and I haven't seen them since, but they had these, it's called good grades. And on the back it shows preschool through 2nd grade workbooks. They're great. I do have one from, actually the other one she finished, I mentioned earlier, was from Costco as well, which was a Scholastic book. She finished her Scholastic kindergarten book already. So this is Aiden's Scholastic 2nd grade book, and it's one of those complete curriculums. So what I will do there is, in the front, the table of contents has the different categories of how the book is broken into for reading comprehension, contemporary manuscripts, so teaching them to write, but to write in a more proper way that kind of prepares them, the way the angles are, prepares them for cursive writing even. So it goes through different grammar section pages, writing, maps, different things about learning maps on grids and understanding north, south, east, west. He's already done most of those on that section. And then it gets into addition and subtraction and some different math activities. Now this is the book that has what he calls his hard math page, which is what I love. It challenges him. I mean, here he's adding triple digits. So he's adding to the hundreds with carrying over, or what do they call it now? They call it regrouping, I believe, is what his teacher in 1st grade, when he was in 1st grade last year, called it. But they're subtracting double digits. They're doing all kinds of activities. And a lot of the pages, okay, now none of these that I'm pulling out, the one he did there, they'll have quite a few, let's see. There'll be quite a few. There'll be quite a few equations on there that it could take him a while to do. Some days he'll get through a double side, some days he'll get through one. Now it looks like these are kind of slowing down, but when he was doing his previous ones, I guess at the beginning of the book, the first few maths, there were a lot more because it was more simple, adding, just learning to carry over and regroup and, carry the one and such. But it has so many complete concepts in there. There are parts that talk about presidents. One section I love is the science activities. They gives you little paragraph kind of story for them to read about something, and then it will give you an activity to do. It will give you what you'll need at home to do a little science experiment on it and different things like that, and have them write their observations and what they think will happen and versus what did happen and different things like that, their investigations. Let's see here. So I'll kind of go through that, and I'll pick out different days. I'll do a math page here, an extra map page, not math, an extra map page over here, and here we'll do a science page. He really loves the manuscript one. He's actually almost finished that. He only has 2 pages left on that one. There's a lot of reading comprehension, just different things like that. So I'll go through that, and I'll tear out something that has to do with language arts, reading comprehension, pardon me, different manuscript, I have something for manuscript every day. So sometimes it's out of this book with writing on, working on his manuscript. Some days it's the cursive pages where it's helping him writing either basic letters, basic words, just things to actually slow down and focus on his handwriting. And then there will be the reading comprehension. There will be the grammar and punctuation, working on your finding the nouns and the adjectives and different things like that they're adding slowly into different sections. So I'll go through that, pick different things. Same thing, I'll fill out Monday through Thursday and leave the Friday empty. Some weeks I'll make it a little bit lighter so that they can easily get through Monday through Thursday and we have Friday off. Some days I'll give them a challenge. And if they can do it, they can do it. If not, they usually just have a little bit left over to do Friday. So Friday is still a lightweight day for them. So that's kind of what I do. And this whole cabinet under here has been designated to the kids. Now behind this box, so this comes out pretty easily. One of those foldable, collapsible boxes. We love those. Back in here are their games. They have Monopoly, they have Boggle, Connect 4, they have Operation. All their games, all their board box games, those are in here. So those go back there, and they know that they can just pull this out, and they love climbing in there in their little tunnel and getting their games out. But then most of the time, this just slips in here, and then I tip it up. It's just the perfect height to tip. And so there's a few other notebooks and different things like that. Here's a geography workbook for him. We're actually going to work on this together with Riley. where they have to decode the answers and the clues to find out what they're talking about, things in the ocean and stuff like that. So different activities here for them. And so then when I'm finished doing the folders, I'll just put all the school books at the bottom. So I'll put all the school books in here. And I will take their folders and I will stack them together going in reverse. So Friday's here at the bottom, and then we'll just work our way backwards so that they are grabbing from the top, and then we'll feed them back in through the week. Let's see here, what are we on to? Wednesday, Tuesday. Now, let's say we haven't done school yet Monday. I'll take Mondays, but I will put the finished folders in next. And so that Monday, the only that's right on top are their Monday folders with Aiden's spelling book. Now Riley's paper is already in her Monday folder for her spelling words, so the only things they need to grab are right there on top. And when I say it's school time, go grab your folders, they go right in here, they open it up, just sneak in here, they just open it up, grab their folders, and they just come right here to the table, and that's where we get to work. So I hope this was helpful to you. This is a work in progress. I'm still changing things, still reorganizing things. I have a stack of books over here that I just got. My mom just brought it from storage for me to kind of go through and see what I'm going to add on for them. And then I'll send the rest back when she comes back next week. But for right now, this is what's working for us. So this is what we're using. And I hope it was helpful to you. If it was, I would love for a thumbs up. And if you have any tips or advice of how you homeschool with your kids and how you organize and set yourself up, I would love to hear about it. So if you wouldn't mind just writing a comment to me. And yes, what worked for you? What hasn't worked for you? I would love to hear about that. And so I am going to go take my kids out to the playground, let them get some energy out. They've been awesome and quiet for me most of the time through this video. And so I appreciate it. If you liked us, give us a thumbs up, hit that subscribe button, and let me know what else you'd like to know about how to homeschool, whether in an RV or just in general. And if you have any tips for me, great. I would love to hear from you seasoned moms of homeschoolers that have been doing this a little bit longer than myself as well. So thanks for watching and take care.